This question is going to go to TK and Tolu. They are, Tolu is my replacement for this week for obvious reasons. So, first question, boys. It's about Ben Simmons and how the NBA world intended to see Ben Simmons finally debut in his first game as a Brooklyn Net. However, it isn't the case. That isn't the case. He was actually ruled out for Game 4, which is currently going on right now at the time of this recording. He's out with a back injury, with back soreness. This news caught everyone by surprise, including his own teammates and people within the organization. With that all being said, how should his teammates feel about him sitting out? TK, you go first.
It depends on how you want to look at this, because let's look at it from a hater, or not a hater. I guess he's not a hater, but let's look at it from the eyes of a guy like PC. If you look at it from that point of view, Ben Simmons looks terrible. I mean, as somebody who's looking at it from PC's point of view, should look at it, I guess. AKA a 76ers fan. But I mean, it looks bad, bro. We really, like PC said, we intended for Ben Simmons to make his debut tonight. Unfortunately, we're not gonna see that happen. Nets are down 0-3. I mean, even if Ben Simmons played, who knows how rusty he would have been, how good he would have been. So maybe we're looking at a situation where the Nets will still get swept, because I think they're done tonight. Even if Ben Simmons touches the floor, I think they still get swept. So, from my point of view, I personally don't think that. I think his teammates should be disappointed. I don't think they should be upset though. Back soreness and back injuries are a real thing, bro. You guys know how serious back injury are. It's pretty freaking serious. Probably the worst injury you can get as a basketball player. It affects your jumping, it affects your dribbling, it affects everything, the way you run, everything. So if he actually has back soreness and a back problem, then I don't know why we should have a problem with this. Because we all know how serious back injuries are. So let's look at it from that way first. Let's say that he actually does have back soreness and he actually is hurt and he actually can't play. We can't say anything about that. We can gossip and we can do this and point fingers and say yada yada yada, but we really can't say anything. Back injuries are very, very serious. Like I said, I don't think his teammates should be mad. They should definitely be disappointed. But if they want to be mad at somebody, why don't you be mad at Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving? Your two top stars did not show up last game. I think they both had under 20 points, if I'm not mistaken. Kevin Durant has absolutely just stunk up the entire series. I don't even recognize who the hell Kevin Durant is anymore. And I tell you one thing, this has nothing to do with the topic, but for everybody listening, those Kevin Durant and LeBron James conversations, they're dead. I never, ever, ever want to hear them again. It is dead. It is done. LeBron James is so much better than Kevin Durant, and we're just not going to ever have that conversation anymore. If I even hear somebody compare Kevin Durant to LeBron James, I'm going to snap, because that's how bad that Kevin Durant looks right now. LeBron James will never. So I just wanted to point that out. But like I said, I think we need to look at it from look in the future for what Ben Simmons is going to bring to this next team. And I think Ben Simmons is going to bring 100% Ben Simmons at the start of the season. I think that right now the fans and everybody in the organization and the players are upset right now. But like I said in the sports group chat earlier today, guys, if Ben Simmons comes back 100% and the Nets play the way that we expect them to play with a big three of Ben Simmons, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving, add some role players if you can in the offseason. Do whatever you got to do. And Steve Nash needs to be fired. Get a real coach. I don't care about Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant saying you don't need a coach for basketball. They're idiots when they said that. And it's showing right now that you need a coach in the playoffs. I mean, we're seeing it right now. So get a head coach, fire Steve Nash. And like I said, Ben Simmons at 100%. I truly believe next season, the fans, the organization, the players, everybody watching, because I expect the Nets to be one of the top teams in the East next year with the Ben Simmons 100%. And like I said, we won't even be having this conversation anymore. We'll completely forget that they got swept the year before, especially if they make a playoff run next season. I mean, we'll forget about all of that. And then next season, we can actually, and PC, I'm talking to you, okay? PC, look at me, please. I love you, bro, but I need to say this to you. Next season, you cannot judge who won the trade this season. Ben Simmons has not touched the floor. So you cannot say that the Sixers won the trade for a guy who has not touched the floor. Next season, though, PC. Next season, I got something. Next season, we will 100% know who won the trade. Next season, we will 100% know who won the trade when Ben Simmons actually touches the floor, along with James Harden in Philly and Ben Simmons in Brooklyn. So, like I said, the players, I understand why they're upset, but I don't think they should be upset. Just be disappointed. But like I said, man, if the dude's back is literally hurt, we can't sit here and judge because that's a very serious injury, and you can't do anything with a back injury in the NBA. So, like I said, be mad at yourselves, man. The Nets just didn't show up against the Celtics. The Celtics absolutely dominated. Just made them look like, excuse my language, but just look like bitches. They look weak. They look tired. They just did not look like they came to play. So just look forward to the next season, Nets fans. Your season's done. Even if you win tonight, which I don't think is going to happen, you'll be gentlemen swept. So just look towards the next season. Don't go too hard on Ben Simmons this summer. Let the dude work out. Let the dude do what he needs to do to get right. He'll be 100% next season, and then we can have this conversation then.
Lots to unfold in that statement. Tolu, you have a rebuttal?
Yeah, and I would 100% be upset with Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has quit on his teammates. That's what he's done. In fact, why he shouldn't even be thinking about coming game 4. He should have been came game 2 when they were down 2-0, not when they're down 3-0. Ben Simmons has quit on LSU when he was in college. He quit on the Sixers, passing up a wide open layup with Trae Young on him. He quit on them. And now he hasn't even stepped on the floor yet, and he's already quit on the Brooklyn Nets. You see, I don't understand what's wrong with his back. What's wrong with his back? Can someone tell me what's wrong with his back? What did he do to his back? He hasn't played in over a year. He has not played in over a year. What the hell's wrong with your back? What'd you do? Were you out in the club and some girl was grinding on you too hard? Is that what happened? Is that what's wrong with your back? Like what? You haven't played in over a year. A year. What is wrong with your back, bro? You had all that time to train, and get yourself right. And you didn't. So what's wrong with your back now? Like I don't understand what's the back soreness in that. That doesn't make any sense to me. But Ben Simmons, he quit on his team yet again, and he hasn't even stepped on the floor yet. And now I feel PC's pain now. As much as that pains me to say, I feel PC's pain. I felt it now. Because as much as I can't stand Fatty Harden in Philly, he's a way better fit for the Sixers than Ben Simmons. And Daryl Morey 100% won that trade because Ben Simmons already has bad relationships with the people in Brooklyn, and he hasn't even stepped foot on the court. Hasn't stepped foot on the court yet. We're more worried about what outfit Ben Simmons is wearing on the sidelines than him playing. We're more worried about that. We're supposed to be worried about Ben Simmons playing, helping his team. Like, he's a quit. He's a bitch to me. Like, if I was his teammate, I'd dead smack him across the face. Mucker, play. What's wrong with your back? You've had a whole year. You didn't play for a whole year. What's wrong with your back, bro? What's wrong with your back? Like, if I was his teammates, anything he says to me is not valid. I roll my eyes at him because it's just, he makes me sick. And now I feel like PC right now. I feel like PC. Now I know the pain that PC's Sixers went through last year with this man. This man is a quitter. A quitter. He's a quitter, bro. He's a quitter.
Tolu, I'm very glad that we finally can agree on something. Look, let's put some things into perspective. The Philadelphia 76ers last year in the playoffs were the number 1 seed with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid as their top 2 guys. in the playoffs last season, in the second round, Eastern Conference semifinals, against the Atlanta Hawks, the team that they were supposed to beat, the team that everyone expected them to beat, lost in 7-2. In that series, Ben Simmons had a worse free throw shooting percentage than Shaquille O'Neal. That is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable for a point guard with the caliber of Ben Simmons to shoot that bad from the free throw line, especially when he can't make up for it in more ways on offense. Defense can only get you but so far. And when Joel Embiid and Doc Rivers and the team finally called him out for it after 4 years of waiting for this man to step up and take the next step into becoming a top-tier player in this league, the Sixers were painted as the bad guys. Everyone said, oh, how could Doc Rivers and Joel Embiid do this? How could they call out Ben Simmons for his performance? And now this year, with the next season on the line, down 0-3, you need some sort of boost to help this team, to help your teammates, to help teammates that you had in Philly last year, and Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. And you're on the bench with the highlighter-ass fit, watching your team get destroyed by Trey's Boston Celtics. The competitive will and Ben Simmons, it ain't there no more. I don't know when he lost it. I don't know if he even ever had it. But what I do know is that Ben Simmons, regardless of his back injury, should be playing in Game 4 right now. He should. There have been players that have played with far more significant injuries. Michael Jordan, with his infamous flu game. Kobe Bryant shot 2 free throws on a torn Achilles. The guy that the Sixers traded for from Ben Simmons, James Harden, played last year in the playoffs with a grade 2 hamstring injury. There should be no reason why a guy gets to sit for over a year of grieving, over a year of losing more than $10 million and not play to help his team pick up the victory. Like Stephen A. Smith said, it's one of the most pathetic situations that I've ever seen in my entire life. All I can say is, I'm glad I finally saw the light for Ben Simmons.